And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast, episode number 35. And it's another glorious Sunday, and we are back at the round table on the Lord's Day. We have a lot of gaming news to discuss, so we're going to get right into it. So let's introduce those usual suspects at the round table. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, and the howl of the young wolf, my man, Lord Addict. How are we doing, sir?
Pretty good.
No doubt, no doubt. Very exuberant. That's good. And of course, our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience. He's back to offline profile this week. My man, Lord Sovereign, how are we doing, sir?
Doing good, man. Doing good. A lot of work this week, so I couldn't do Destiny like I wanted to. I played a little bit yesterday. Got some Iron Banner in.
You went into competitive PvP?
Yeah, I told you I'm not nearly as bad as I thought I was. So I'm like,
let me ask you real quick. What's the loadout? What's the loadout though?
The loadout right now? It's Mida Mini and Mida Multi right now, but those are the ones I run. Yeah, those are the ones I run with in PvP. But in PvE, I have. I think I'm using like Sunspot or something like that. I forgot the name.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the sun. The sun.
Yeah. I haven't had too much luck with hand cannons in PvP. Like,
stay away from that.
Man.
They're not in a good place. Those are some pulses.
Unless you're gonna use the Better Devils.
He's right. Yeah, Better Devils is
I have Better Devils. I have a base 299, so I'm trying to get, but it's my kinetic weapon. So
doesn't matter. You're fine at whatever.
Oh yeah, really?
You're fine. That's the big thing in the community right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's upset.
The Better Devils. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're gonna nerf them hand cannons.
They will at some point. They will.
They're gonna nerf them hand cannons.
So that's it. That's pretty much what you've been rocking.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. A little bit more of Axiom Verge and well, I guess we'll talk about that when we're playing later. Yeah.
No doubt. And of course, the excess gamer.
Oh.
The Lord, who is a man of his convictions, demands nothing less than that premium experience.
Oh.
Beloved Lord King, how are we doing, sir?
Doing fantastic. Yo, the boxing gods is crazy.
And
Yo.
Addict rolls his eyes.
Yo, it don't matter about Addict. It ain't about Addict. Yo, it is so crazy yesterday. Like, it must have been a boxing holiday. It was insane. You had boxing on Fox. You had boxing on HBO. You had boxing on Showtime. Now, I'm not going to give you all the names. I'm just going to give you the principal fighters. It was a KO fest last night. You had KOs in every fashion that you wanted to get it. Like, every fight except for the Lauder fight was a KO. You had the Abner Mares fight, that was a KO. You had the Santa Cruz fight, that was a KO. You had the George Groves fight, that was a KO. That was over there to my UK people in London. That was fantastic over there. It looked really good in them shits over there. That was fantastic.
London get it popping. London
got it popping yesterday. Yes, that's right. Yes. Shout out to my man James. Yo, James. It was a good look for you guys over there. What's that pond? Then you had all right, you had the Santa Cruz, you had what's this? DeMarco knockout was crazy. Then
Don DeMarco?
Not Don DeMarco. But yo, you might want to start calling him Don DeMarco after that knockout right there. Then you got the Showtime fight. Oh, bro. Shout out to Al Heyman. Al Heyman, you are a godsend to the sport of boxing. You and your ties to Showtime, you guys have put forth the greatest fights that we have seen this year. This has been the greatest year for me to be alive as a boxing enthusiast, because you had the Laura fighting his mentor. All these people's fighting their mandatories. You had the Charlo fighting Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin is a big thing in these streets. He was the up and coming. He was a young wolf. They was trying to set Charlo up. Charlo knocked him out in the first round with this uppercut that hit his jaw. Homeboy folded, and he was still swinging while on the ground. It was knockout of the year. It was insane. And
okay.
then
we got to get some of these dudes on the Lord's podcast. We're gonna be promoting them.
I really feel that it was fantastic. You know, I can't go on to say too much about it yesterday. It was just a beautiful night in combat sports. Shout out to X and me for holding the kid down.
What's up? Easy.
Whoa, really?
Easy.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what that is.
No one knows what that is.
Nobody knows what that is.
Let's just keep it that
way.
We here at the Lord don't condone any other things other than watching it.
Yeah, we watched it though. Yeah,
that's the name of the bar that he went to watch.
Yeah, I was at there. It's in my living room. It was in the living room. The XB
on ILP Street.
Yeah,
of course. Spreading that game and realness on the ILP. Not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So let's get into what the Lords have been playing. We know there's a lot going on, so let's start with the young wolf himself, Lord Attic. What have you been playing this week?
Pretty much just Destiny 2 this week. Nothing else, really.
No doubt. Shout out on that raid. We got to get Callus done. We had a lot of fun. Shout out to Revos and Demon. They are damn hilarious. And also Jensen. Good run. We had some fun. We just got to finish up Callus and those that lag was a little crazy, but we got to get that straightened out. We should be all good. So Lord Solve, what have you been touching? You said a little Axiom, what you was doing?
Yeah, I mean basically a lot of work this week, so I couldn't play as much Destiny as I wanted to. But definitely playing more Axiom Verge, getting a little further in that than I did on the Vita version, and then starting up Stardew Valley. But the Stardew is one of those things, like if you're not paying attention to it completely, it kind of takes over. So I wanted to actually finish Axiom Verge before I really dip into Stardew.
Real quick, because I see Lord Kaibatsu talking about Stardew. Like, what is it? Is it just farming? Like, I'm still confused what this
it's an RPG / farming simulator / dating simulator. It's a little bit of everything in one. And I think that's the draw that people have. Like, again, we haven't gotten a new Harvest Moon in forever. We haven't gotten a new Earthbound in forever. And these are games that people, old school players kind of, they love and they would like to have a new version of. And this filled that void. And again, like I said last week, is one dude who did it. So it's like, you really want to support this guy. Like it was, when it first came out, this game was crack for a lot of people. Like it just hit every little aspect of that farming thing that people like breaking stuff down, the Minecraft type stuff where you can create different things from stuff that you break down. It just has that addictive loop. So, I mean, that's why it's as popular as it is.
Facts. Lord King, what have you been playing?
Destiny and a little bit of Cuphead here and there. I take Cuphead in small doses, but I got to do it. I give Attic all the credit in the world that he can sit there and he can go at it as hard as he went at it to finish it. I don't have that the fortitude to do that or the dexterity to even accomplish anything close to that, but my Destiny days has been blending together, bro. Yeah, I did a raid last night, and I didn't even know that I had completed the raid with my other characters. So my days are blending. It's incredible.
No doubt. Facts. That's funny you say that. Because, it's been Destiny, same here with me. Shout out to Lord Cal. And I got some of them Kings of Raptures. We actually did a Nightfall together. It was kind of cool. So shout out to Cal and his people. I believe it's Lord Elite himself. King of Raps, we got that done. Oh, by the way, Cal, I forgot to tell you, man sound like Tommy from Power. I forgot to tell you that.
Wow.
He do. What's up, everybody in the chat? Like, no disrespect. I love Tommy from Power. Like, he literally sounds, I was meaning to tell you that because I was laughing to myself. Y'all watch Power, y'all know Tommy is. He's like literally carbon copy. So we got that in. We got the Nightfall popping. I want to shout out to my peoples. First of all, Wolverblade, man. It's a little Switch joint. It's a hack and slash. I want to shout out to my guy Michael Held and the whole team at Fully Illustrated. I've been rocking with those guys for a while. It was on a Nintendo Nindies showcase a while back. A little in the corner, kind of like think like King. Think like Final Fight mixed. Remember this old EA game was hack and slash, was real bloody. It was called Sword of Sudan. You ever remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
It was a garbage game back then, but it was just bloody. You cut heads off and Yeah, so this is like the local co-op, beat 'em up, old school with the 1080p cell shaded. Yo, it's really beautiful. And the voice acting is great. The story, they got story. I thought it was just gonna be a little, 80s, 90s kind of game.
Yeah.
Nah, they kind of go in there for the $20. For the $20,
this $20 spot is a nice sweet spot for
that's
games.
a nice thing. Follow that Cuphead wave. So
Yeah.
shout out to Fully, shout out to Wolverblade. They gave me a lot of props for picking up the game, and we're definitely a fan of it. So yeah, check that guy out if you guys have a Switch, and I believe it's coming to Xbox and PS4, but I think Switch gets the exclusivity first on the little nifty joint. So check that out.
Oh yeah, shout out to Cuphead for passing 1 million sales.
Oh yeah, salute.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's
fantastic.
Amazing. Absolutely. So of course we got the last week's poll results are in. We had 2 big polls and the people have spoken. So let's deal with poll 1. So to the question with the rise of loot crates and gaming, like Forza, Assassin's Creed Origins, Shadow of War, blah, 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 does voting with your wallet even matter? In a tight poll at 58% is the yes, resist loot boxes and make change group. The resistance is out here, you know what I'm saying? So they want it to happen. It was really close, you know what I'm saying? Coming in at second place, 42% is the no. The masters will do the lay down, stay down, and conform. You know what I'm saying? So it was really close. So about poll number 1, I'm just gonna throw it to Lord. What do you feel about that? What the people are saying?
I feel, I'll be honest, like I agree. You have to resist the loot boxes, but I'll get into this more in my topic. Yeah. But there's some people whose response to this is to boycott the game, and I think that's a bit much. I think
we're gonna get into that. I'm so glad you brought that up because I definitely want to get. There's a lot of stuff in the streets with that. So yeah, hold on to that one, Soft, because I know where you're going. Like, yeah, I'm with you. Lord King, Lord Addict, what do you guys feel about
my thing is the same thing as Lord Sovereign. I think they're losing the narrative here. Is you're not boycotting the game, you're boycotting what the practices are in the game. You can still be part of the game, to like the game. So yeah, that's when we get to that topic, we can expound on that. Yeah.
No doubt. And
I think that, I think as an individual, it's irrelevant. I mean, you can not buy loot crates, that's cool, but when it comes to the whole thing, you're not the whole industry, and there won't ever be a whole movement. There's very few times in the gaming industry's history where there's been such a mass movement of people all on the same page that it actually matters.
Like I said, I mean, it has some minimal effect, and but we gonna get into it. This is a good one. This is so good. Love it. All right, so poll 2, since we had to double up last week. To the question, do we feel Bungie has over-casualized the Destiny 2 endgame, trials, Iron Banner, Prestige Raid at the expense of the hardcore base? The winner, and kind of a smoking 70% strong, is yes. Power level and grind is gone. That group is upset. They're saying it's over-casualized. Coming in at only 30% was the no. Destiny 2 is more fun and better now group. So I bring this again to the round table. What do the Lords think about this?
I definitely think they casualized the game, but I think it's better for the overall brand.
That's a good point.
The stuff they casualized didn't really mean nothing in Destiny 1. It was just more of a mental thing. Like it took 10 about what they were called light levels. It took 10 light levels to really make a relevance. Yeah, and if you get up to that point, everyone should be on equal terms anyway. So. I get why people are upset over it, but it's like, look, like they're trying to let you play other games. Like, let them.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think the hardcore probably struggling with that because we're so used to just playing nothing but Destiny and not be finished. You know what I'm saying? With anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of new, but that's a good point. That's a real good point. What do the rest of the Lords think about that?
Well, I feel that It's great that they did it that way. You can run across a lot of people as 305 that never did the raid, and I like that. That you can achieve that light level without doing certain things. You're not locked out of certain things. You don't have people looking at you saying, "Oh, what you 305?" Or you're 299, and you need those extra light levels, and it can only come from the raid. And maybe you're not good in the accent. Maybe you don't have friends like that. But the way Destiny is set up now, they want more people to group together. They want the MMO experience, how they're delivering it to you. So, you have people on your friends list that's like, yo, buddy, I'll run you through trials real quick. You want to do it? You're like, okay. Or Iron Banner this weekend, which is lit this weekend. It's been real. It's fun because I don't even play Iron Banner, but I was in there. I got some stuff. So
you was up.
Yeah, it's definitely. I like the way that they're bringing other people in and including people.
No doubt. Yeah, it's a good topic. I mean, real quick, I'll just expound on it. Like I agree. I think overall, like Lord Addict nailed it. Like for the health of the game, it's good overall that the casuals, so to speak, are playing. Everyone's in, and it's popular. But at the same time, like I think for DLC 2, when they do kind of raise the level cap again, you know what I'm saying, the hardcore needs something to continually be invested. You know what I'm saying? So I think they
need to convert
make a little tweak.
Power level for hardcore and convert that to weapons and armor. Like the stuff from the raid should be so legendary that when you see someone that has it, you know what they went through for it, and not like some of the stuff that we get from the raid.
Right. They definitely need to make that them hardcore. They need to feel special because those are the groups rocking the flag.
Yeah, I don't like a couple of things that is going on with the raid clothing and the raid weapons.
Talk to me. Let's get it.
Right. All right.
You going?
So, like previous games, when you got raid gear, the raid gear and weapons will have a perk that is makes the raid easier and shows your proficiency in doing the raid. This year, the clothing is just clothing.
It's just cosmetic.
Yeah, it's very cosmetic to the point that you can put on the helmet, and this helmet doesn't help you stay in the water with the bathers with protection a little bit longer or something. It's like little things that this raid, it was thought out on the execution part, but the devil's in the details, and he's not abundant in these details because the clothing nor the weapons are essential to the raid.
Exactly, and glad you said it because Bungie right now, the weekly update came out. I'm not going to get too much into your topic, okay? But I know that it came out, and at least for the first time, they're acknowledging it. Because if you look at Reddit right now, the top 5 things is end games, over casualization, things that they took out, systems that were there that were already in place. Like Lord King is saying, when you got the raid clothes, each section of the clothes, whether the boots, it made you do something that helped in the mechanic of the raid. You know what I'm saying? And this year, it's like, where is that? So it's like this snowball effect, of all these little hardcore things that were already there in Destiny 1 that they got right. You know what I mean? That for whatever reason, now these systems are gone and people are a little pissy, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think as the filthy casual in the group, like I absolutely
as the resident cash.
I absolutely agree.
I mean, I get where people are coming.
What's up, baby?
I get where people are coming from, but I feel like the overall health of the game and how long the game lives is more important than
absolutely.
And I do think there is a middle ground. Like I said, like we haven't got stuff like Voda Glass, like the weapons. They're cool, but let's be real here. A lot of those weapons are kind of whack that we get from the raid. Like, so it's whatever, but like at the same time, it's like, the weapons had a theme to what they were, and they all kind of look alike, but it's just here's the scout rifle version of the auto rifle. Here's the auto rifle version of the and they real slacked when it come to that, and it's like where is our old Fatebringer, and where is the gun? See, when you got something like that, you wanted it. But when I get something like this, I'm like, well, I just needed it to have them all.
Yep.
I didn't actually want it.
I would hope that, like, well, we talked about yesterday how the game is going to continue to, last week, how the game is going to continue to evolve, and I see those things being addressed. Like, I would hope that they address that in the prestige versions of either like moving forward in the Nightfalls and then also in the raids. That way you have those mechanics in the raids and in the Nightfalls that the people, the hardcore, are used to, and that way you get the best of both worlds, where I can play a certain version of it, and then somebody with more experience, somebody who wants something different out of it, can play a different version, harder version of it. And I don't see where that would be a difficult thing to do, and I think you address both issues in that way. But from, like, again, I think I agree with you guys. Absolutely making it more accessible to more people is what the game needs for the long-term health. Like, if you don't have that, people are going to fall off. They just are.
I don't necessarily think that. I do have hope that they address these, but to be honest with you, I'm really thinking they're just going to throw features that we had in Destiny 1 and expansions and try to sell that. Like,
that's what people are like. They're like, Bungo's gonna hustle us with that.
Like, how do we not have? We waited 2 years from custom games just to have it stripped from us like a year later.
Facts. It makes no sense. We had
what happened
matches.
to strike
specific
gear? Like,
what happened to strike streaks? Remember the strike scoring system that they added at the end? Like, all these systems that like, why are they not there on base level? That's what.
It's like in Destiny 1 how they kept bringing it. After taking King, they kept trying to sell us old shit and saying it's new shit.
Yeah, I agree with them to an extent. That's the part with the hardcore community I have to agree with. I agree with your overall point, Sovereign. And shout out to Fame.
Destiny shout out to Fame.
And I love the fact, like, guys like
King,
you know what I'm saying? Fact, like, I love that. I love that Kai Batsu's on his joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it. That part is fine. All we're saying is, like Lord Attic is saying, like, if there's existing systems that they already had,
they're gonna try to sell it to you in DLC.
Why isn't it at the base level? It almost feels like, yo, King, it's like, remember when the Maddens used to come out, the new Madden come out, and they have a hot feature, or the Lord saw like they had a hot feature in MLB The Show, and then the next one you like, where is it? Like, that was hot. Like, like, there's no reason why it should be taken out.
You could never take out something that works. You just expand upon it and keep.
I mean, I can understand, stuff like Prison of Elders, because technically through lore it's impossible, because the reef isn't even accessible anymore. But like, when it comes to something as simple as custom games, why is that not there? Like, and that actually can benefit your game overall. Why is that not there?
Real quick, because I know we're going on, but it's funny you even said that as far as lore, because Reddit exposed Bungie with the whole power level things in Iron Banner. They basically said, Soft, according to the lore with Lord Saladin, like, Iron Banner is supposed to be different from Crucible with power level. It's supposed to determine who's the strongest guardian. So power level is built into the lore, and they say Bungie's not going against their own.
They nerfed it. They nerfed it because they know it's not player friendly for people who are not,
well, here's the thing.
Here's
the thing. If you ain't friendly towards Iron Banner, play Crucible, you scrubs.
Basically.
But listen, man.
Defend the casual.
What's funny is Iron Banner in Destiny 1 wasn't even that, like, hardcore. It was casual still. It was Trials of Osiris was the hardcore PvP mode, not Iron Banner.
The thing about it is, the more hardcore you make the game, the more you isolate it from the average player, right?
Well, I get that, but when you only have 3 things, that's in-game content. In-game content is supposed to be for the in-game guardians, like the elite players. It's not so hard to have the raid, raid. Iron Banner. I wouldn't even say Iron Banner. Let them casualize the hell out of that. I don't care about that. Raid. What is the new Trials of the Nine? Raid and Trials of the Nine. That's the only 2 things I don't want casualized.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, I feel what you're saying. It's just like, I'm gonna be real. Like, Damn, we might. I'm gonna ask you, King. We might have to go into your topic next. You know, the Destiny flow. We might have to switch up the order. But like what it is like I miss when you go to your lineup before Iron Man or Trials or whatever, and you're sitting in, okay, this gun is 302. Damn, I need this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna bump my light up to help me be stronger in said activity. Like. Yep. It's not there. It means nothing. Like it you know what I'm saying? So again, they just got to find that balance. That's all I'm saying. Where they still, I think my solution is maybe bring it back for like when Osiris DLC comes out, you know, and the new Trials and the new raid and all that, bump the light up, level up, make power matter again. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully they can kind of rectify it that way. Because like Lord Attic is saying, I mean, you still have regular Crucible, you still have all these other activities, the standard raid, but like the prestige raid challenge mode, is supposed to be for a hardcore group.
Mention that the entire multiplayer, every multiplayer mode's gone pretty much from Destiny 1, but like 3. It's like, where's Rift? You know, where's eliminations there? Where's Rumble?
It's coming. That stuff is coming. That stuff is coming. I don't like the fact that I can make a brand new Titan. I can run inside Iron Man.
I just don't like the fact that I just don't like the fact that there's certain aspects from Destiny 1, which obviously Destiny 1 was like 3 years long, but like, why am I buying a sequel to downgrade to upgrade? Like, that makes no sense to me.
So, being that we on this thing, we had to switch up the order. Lord King, would you mind me putting you to the front of the congregation?
No, I have absolutely no problem with it. What I did have a problem with is the fact that I left my notes inside the car.
Oh, don't worry. No worries, dude. So I can expound. Help out.
Please assist. But my topic is Destiny 2 being launched on the PC, and I felt that would those people that are playing on console right now, because console, I've noticed that something is going on, that the people are walking around aimlessly with really nothing to do. So are those people going to jump to PC, being that it's a fresh new face and you know, the resolution is higher, the frame rates is higher? Are you going to jump into a new space where some people are, you know, new to it, and it might be a new experience for you? Is that one thing? And also the MPDs came out on Destiny, stating that it dropped 50% on this. Yeah, 50% is significant on disc versus beige physical copies of the game. Now, they didn't say anything about digital copies. Digital copies could be up for all we know, right? Like, it could be going up. And I think in this in our new world in video games, where everybody is digitally downloading games and, you know, putting it to the hard drive, because you really don't want to get up and swap games out anymore. I mean, we have become very spoiled. So I think are the spoiled ones, are we taking over now with the physical, you know, and pushing the physical out? I just want to bring those topics to the round table and see where it goes.
I'm going to tackle the I mean, I don't really have a comment on the PC thing, but I'll talk about the, you know, the sales flop. Like, I don't necessarily think it's like quote unquote spoiled people. I think it's who buys games like Destiny 2 on launch for the most part. The majority of the install base of these games, it's hardcore. Who are the people that know about stuff like digital sharing, and who has mainly went to digital? The hardcore. So, you know, I really think that, you know, people be still thinking that like the digital sales is only like 10-20% of the install base. Now, if anything, I would say it's anywhere from 60 to 40 to maybe even 50-50 these days.
I got some numbers.
Oh, hello.
We see publishers like EA saying that they had a decrease. They've made 3 or 4 reports from saying they've had a decrease in retail copies, but their actual digital revenue has surged through the roof.
Well, this is what I got on it, and I'm glad we tackling this, because this is hot right now. Michael Pachter jumped on this first, I believe. A couple of analysts, financial analysts jumped on. Yeah. Now let's get to the hard and fast. Destiny 2 numbers are down 50% in physical sales. That's fact. Like, regardless to what. Now, as far as your point, Lord Attic, yes, digital does make a point. Now, I believe, shout out to my man from Forbes, you know what I'm saying, Paul Tassi, we got to get you on the show. I'm still on you, baby. I'm holding you to your word. Lord Tassi from Forbes. So, yeah, pretty much what he was saying, investor calls in 2016, like basically, and then compared to now in Activision in 2017, they're saying that the actual digital sale revenue in Destiny 1 was about the high 20%, right? Right. They're saying in Destiny 2, digital sales is only the mid 30%. So that still doesn't account for 50% drop, though.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Right. Now what he's saying, though, now let's look at it comparatively timeline. Destiny 1, when it dropped, Xbox 360, PS3, remember? Those three huge were part. And they said at that time in 2014, they had so close to about 80 million. So now they're saying, to Lord King's point, what Fortassi is saying, the numbers may not be as bad as what everyone's saying from this standpoint. Right now, there's about 65 million PS4s, maybe 30 million, we're going to say Xbox Ones. And PC also, right. And let's say
I think
PC.
that's the biggest thing in this equation is I do think there is a huge streaming community and they've all waiting for the PC version.
Right. And the key, what Tassi is saying is, let's not flip out, because he's a numbers guy as well. He's saying the PC didn't, remember, it's a separate launch. It didn't, remember, October, they're coming out in 1 or 2 weeks. So shout out to Lost Spot. Well, a couple of days, right? Shout out to Lost Spot. We're going to get him on the show because we're going to have him all over that PC launch as well. And a couple of ILP Twitter guys, they've been asking about that because we want to see how this, because there's guys that are waiting for the definitive version. We all know uncapped frame rate, that whole bit. So I'm not going to make excuses, but we got to see
how many percentage do you think of people that actually have the will to wait for that launch for the PC version? Because I see a lot of people that were like, I'm going to stick to my guns and just wait a month, and they didn't wait a month.
And they didn't wait, and they bought. Yeah, shout out to
they bought it like 3 or 4 days later.
Yeah. They didn't wait.
To get out, lay down, boy. You got to get out, lay down, boy.
So it's interesting. It's very interesting. See, I wanted to get Lord Saul's feeling on this as well too, with the numbers coming out. And I know MPD's coming soon, so we're gonna have that to look at too.
I mean, in terms of the PC stuff, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I know there's plenty of people, like, if you're really into Destiny, you're one of those people that's, you know, running multiple characters. So if you have a PC that'll run the game, then you're probably going to be doing the same thing on PC. I just don't. I see people playing it across platforms, and it doesn't matter because it's just one of those things. Like, you want to get the entire Destiny 2 experience, and if you're that invested into it, you're going to play it. So yeah, you're going to see people, even if they are playing on the console version. By now they're 305. By now they've done the raid. They're like, okay, I'll go and do it again on PC at 60 frames per second. Like, I see plenty of people that have the ability to do that actually doing that. When it comes to the sales, yeah, it's obvious. Like, digital sales are at the forefront now. It's just the thing. Like Lord King said, like, we're lazy. We're getting lazy. We're spoiled. Like, we want stuff in our hands. We want it right at midnight. I don't want to be standing on the line to pick something up at midnight. I don't want to do any of that stuff. So digital sales, it's obvious that they're going to start increasing more and more. And as bandwidth for people increases, as more people have access to sort of uncapped bandwidth in terms of downloading stuff, because that's a big problem in the United States. Like, there are a lot of places in the middle of the country that have, you know, they have decent internet, but they're capped at certain things. So you can only, if you can only download, you know, 50 gigs a month, that's a game. You know what I mean? Like, that's one game. Like, so, you know, thankfully don't have that issue here on the East Coast, at least thus far. But that's a real issue. But as soon as that stuff starts rectifying itself, we're going to see the digital marketplaces are going to keep increasing, and these numbers are going to keep increasing in terms of digital. So, and I think the disparity also comes from the fact that there is no last gen version anymore of this. So, I think PC is going to pick up that slack once it drops.
That was my next question. So, like, let me bring this to the table. Like, how much do we think PC's really gonna move out here? Like, do we really think it's gonna have that chunk? I know that it's got rave reviews. I know King, you know, you saw it at E3.
I think it'll do what Xbox One does. I don't think it'll come close to PlayStation 4 sales.
Gotcha.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, so like now again, this is they're going. It's not doing the Cuphead where it's doing the Steam, right? It's doing what is it?
Just
Battle.net.
Okay, okay, so it's Battle.net now. Okay, got it. That's gonna be interesting, man. This is a hot one.
I would have loved for them to release it on Steam and actually see the numbers that it can really achieve, because these PC elite guys, they are really like hell bent on Steam. Like Steam is a must. Like and if you're not on Steam, you stink. Like, and because I say I buy stuff from the Microsoft store, and they're like, PC, you're not PC. Get out of here.
In their defense, though, that Cuphead Microsoft store was kind of a disaster, though.
It was horrible. It was horrible. Microsoft, you can't tout your stuff and then it don't be, up to snuff like with the company.
Yeah, I heard people shout to, I believe Jay Main from Press Start. I think he had a problem, like deleted all his save data.
Yeah.
Cuphead, bro.
Woo! Shadow of War was having issues downloading.
Yeah.
Like my thing is like y'all not popping as it is, so it's like you
Just
can't have no mess ups. Like
I feel like they I wouldn't say damage, but they slowed down the Xbox brand to help the Windows 10 gaming brand, and it feels like they have like half their foot in that Windows 10, and half the foot out.
And it's funny you said that. Shout out to my boy Lord Rand and the Xbox 2. Shout out to Jez. Going happy birthday, happy born day, Jez. I know it's your birthday. I'm gonna talk to you, get you on the show as well. Happy born day. We liking what you're doing out there with man Lord Rand.
HBD.
You know what I'm saying? HBD. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like he made a good point. Like Lord Attic is saying, he's saying like Microsoft, I believe it's not run by the Xbox guys, Microsoft guys, but they've got 1 foot in, 1 foot out on that store. If you're going to do it, you've got to go all in. This is Jazz calling him out. So he's tied, you know what I'm saying? He's got his ear to the ground as far as Windows Central and street stuff like that. So if he's saying that, and he's like, yo, they should put Mikey Barra in charge of that division. Because Mike is out there on them streets.
Mike is had it smoking, boy.
Yeah, he's
Mikey Barra's in the background be like, please don't.
Yeah, he probably don't want it. He maybe don't want that responsibility. But I mean, he would be a person like him would be a perfect candidate for something like that. And they got to get that
bump in the pay. That bump in the pay. He'll be there.
We'll see what happens when the PC launch. What's the PC launch date? We got to get that out. Is it like October? We got to get that out like maybe a week or two. I'll get that exactly out there.
Yeah, it's a week.
Yeah, we'll see how that affects.
I'm picking it up PC though. I got a rig that can have that joint smoking. So I'm definitely picking it up. Shout
out to Lord Victor in the chat. He was like, according to Jez, you know what I'm saying, that it's a mess because it's run only by the Windows team. So yeah, that's gonna be
and the Windows team seems to me to be like your mentally disabled kid that you gotta bring with you. We go to the park and you gotta bring a little handicap kid with you. Like, oh man, like, come on, man, keep up with us, man. We doing things. You
like the thing I don't understand about that. It's like. Maybe the Windows team just doesn't adapt to the gaming brand, because the industry is a little bit weird than every other industry. Like we're very vocal. There's not too many other industries that is as vocal as we are. I would say a good example is like the football industry. Like their fans are more vocal than gamers. But like it's like go to the biggest. Go to the biggest competition on PC, which is Steam. And it's like, there's your goal. Like, what? Like, I just don't get how, like, I see the Windows 10 store now. Like, if I load it up now, and it's like, it looks like an app off of my phone. Like, the store off of my phone. Like, it doesn't even look like a gaming library. It's like, how the only game I see, like, in point of reach, that I ain't scroll down or click games, is Minecraft for Windows 10 and Gwent the Witch Card game preview. That's all. Like, everything else is movies, NFL on Windows, and Jack Reaper double feature. And I'm just like, look, that's why no one likes your system.
Exactly. You're not helping yourself out.
Look how people
having download problems after like 20 gigs, and you got to re-download the whole thing again. That's what people are saying.
Look how bad people flipped out on Microsoft when they did that update and didn't put the My Games and Apps to the right. I mean, seriously, if people will flip out over that, then you maybe need to sit down and look what needs to be done.
Exactly. Reevaluate. Shout out to Lord King for letting us push that Destiny 2 topic up a notch because it was kind of hot.
Yeah, man. But Phil needs to just, push the narrative as the super boss Phil is. And you did have on that Steam shirt, buddy. What I say is, I understand that, you got to be loyal to Windows 10, but let's put the little retarded kid in the corner and let's get that other kid over there that's excelling. Let's go get that Steam kid. That Steam kid he's winning these Olympics here.
What they need to do,
pull that steam in here, baby.
What they need to do is stop having the people that don't sell games design the game store for Windows 10.
Facts. Let's talk about it, right? That's the real. You're right. Absolutely right.
Or just get down with Steam and bend the knee. Bend the knee.
I don't think that's a
think so?
I don't think that's a possibility, to be honest with you.
Let's see.
I feel like if
this was Steve Ballmer's day,
if Microsoft has approached people like Nintendo in the past, like, y'all want to buy your whole company, I highly doubt they ain't talked to Steam.
Well, shout out to Microsoft and Nintendo playing nice. They got a game out right now. It's going to do some cross play, and I'm loving it. Hopefully Grandpa will let them give them the reins to the online.
Hold on, weren't there two lawyers that said that would never happen?
Oh, did I say that?
Yeah. Yes, you did, sir.
Is that
along with the young wolf?
Oh no! Yo, wait! Time out.
When did this happen?
We're talking about the PlayStation. We're talking about the PlayStation here, bro.
No. We're talking about Xbox. Switch.
I need a reference, buddy. You can't just throw allegations out there about some mistakes.
Hey! I'm not gonna take that like that. You gotta go to the receipts. You gotta get the videotape. We're gonna debunk this.
You literally just walked into the police station, said he killed someone.
When we were talking about the Minecraft using the Xbox Live servers, and you were like, "Yeah, that's a 1 in a million time." And I said, "It would be fantastic." I said, "It would be." You did. Oh my Lord!
Show me where I said this.
What we got to do? We got to bring up the
play that. Get that. Go back and if you actually had a vocals, because I don't believe you. So
I know, but Lord Cognito can vouch for me because he was on my side of the argument.
We're not taking that. Me and Attic will not be slandered in this way.
When I said, listen, we were specific. The specific conversation was we were talking about Doom on the Switch.
I'm just hearing damage control.
And I said it would be fantastic if they had some sort of cross-play, cross-save feature because that way, people that have the older game. Exactly. Here we go. And he know now he's remembering. Now it's all coming.
Actually, I'm not remembering. Actually, I'm not remembering. I misremembered this. I misremembered all of this.
I've always said they need to sell Xbox Live cards with every Switch. Like, I don't remember me ever saying that they could never use that system.
When it came to the specific topic of a cross-save, cross-play thing, both of you said that'll never happen. Hell no, it'll never happen.
I'm gonna have to dig in the crates.
I think you have to get that. I don't believe it.
I think you're confusing another topic with another topic.
He's misremembering. You're misremembering.
Don't worry, son. We'll get them in two. We got 2 more times down. We're gonna revisit them.
Sir, please take your Ginkgo pills, sir. Please.
And
over there having signs of dementia or some shit.
All I know is that
this is preposterous.
When I bring the soundbite next week, when I bring the soundbite up,
and you realize you're wrong, what you gonna say? What's that?
What you gonna say is a butterfly effect. This is the Mandela effect. This is Mandela effect. It happened in an alternate universe.
This is what
we hit the Iron Lord tapes. We hit the Iron Lord archives.
This is what Lord Sovereign's gonna say. I revisited. Okay, I wasn't entirely wrong.
I know, right? It was aspects of my article that was factual. This is fake news. This is fake news.
Yeah, we have two Donald Trumps here in
Take your CNN ass over there. That's over
with the fake news. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna go on with this all day. So, Lord Sub, you are up next. You're gonna talk about this AAA Lootbox situation, part 2, the rematch.
The continuation, the saga.
Hit that like button as you come in the door. Hit that like button.
Facts.
Yes, sir. All right. So my topic this week is continuing the whole Loot Crate conversation. There's been so much drama over the past week. Everybody has a different opinion on it, and hopefully we're kind of winding down on it, but I don't think so. But there's going to be something more to talk about. But in light of all this drama, right? What do we feel? Do the expectations that we have as gamers for AAA games, and that's single player AAA games, multiplayer focused AAA games, any sort of AAA game, are the expectations that we have moving forward for what those games are in terms of quality, in terms of graphic quality, in terms of length of game, size of game, is that reasonable to expect moving forward without things like loot crates in place to have them make more money?
Here's the thing.
And let's look at the possibilities that could replace something like loot crates, because I personally am not a person that likes loot crates in my games unless I'm purchasing them with something like with in-game currency or something like that, and it gives me something cosmetic. Even in a single player game, if it gives me something that makes me stronger, if I'm playing it in my house and I'm not affecting anybody else, if I want to run around and destroy the game and be like a god, that's my business.
No doubt. Facts.
Whatever the case may be. As soon as it affects someone else, and I'm playing with someone else, and it affects that experience, that's a problem.
Right.
So the things that I was looking at, what can we do to kind of stave this off? Can we accept paying more for games at a base level?
No.
We pay less for games now than we ever have. Like,
this is true.
I will never.
And games cost. But okay, that's the young person's mentality. That's the young person's mentality.
It's not the young person's mentality. I guarantee you, if they increased it to 70 to 80, they're still gonna do loot crates.
There'd be a problem. Oh yeah, no question. No question.
You know all that's gonna happen if they do this? Nothing. We just gonna pay more for the initial game and still buy loot crates. That's literally all that's gonna happen. They're making their money back off these developments. They're just being greedy.
Okay, so let's get into the whole money thing.
Let's get into the money. Let's follow the money. Let's follow the collection play. That's what we're trying to do.
So our boy Jason Schreier from Kotaku recently released a book called Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, where he goes in depth into development. Yeah, in depth into development of certain games and controversies that happened therein, like the whole Naughty Dog thing with Amy Hennig, things like that, right? So one of the big questions that even people in the know, like in the industry, and in terms of media in the industry that don't really have a good grasp on, is budgets for games, specifically how much X game costs to make. Yes. A lot of times the developers and the publishers do not want to divulge that information. So what he's been able to glean over years is that there's kind of a magic base number that you can sort of use to create a kind of roundabout number of what it costs.
What pretty much the magic number is, if you hit that number, it's like an automatic reinvestment. That's pretty much what that is.
But it's something that you can use to have an idea of how much a game costs to make. It could be above that, it could be below that, but it's a baseline number that gives you a roundabout idea of what it is. So that number is $10,000. That number is $10,000 a month per person working on the game, right? So let's take a game like Shadow of War. Shadow of War by Monolith Productions. It's about 100 people in that development studio. So you're talking about 100 people, $10,000 a month. That's $1 million a month, right? You multiply that by a 3-year development cycle. That's 36 months. So that's $36 million, right? That doesn't include marketing. So let's tag on another $10 million for marketing. That's $46 million that they have to make back, right? If they sell, okay, so you divide that by $60, right? It's a base $60 price point, right? And now you're looking at something in the realm of 767,000 copies they have to sell to break even at that price point, right? So, let's look at that price point. So they have to sell less than $1 million to break even, right? When you look at now, they're not receiving that $60. $60 is not going back to the developer.
Oh, clearly.
It's a piece of that that's going back to the developer. That's A. B, you have to remember at launch, if you're playing on PC, you're probably getting that game at a 20% discount from somewhere. You're always getting it cheaper than you're getting it. You're not getting it at $59.99.
But the person that you're buying this from, whether it's CD Keys, don't they buy these keys in bulk from the?
No, they don't buy these keys in bulk. Not from the publisher.
So how are they getting so many copies then? How are they getting copies to sell?
CD Keys has always been kind of a shady thing because they're getting they get a huge amount of keys.
Like the majority of PC players don't support the community. That's all I need to hear. Let's continue.
You savage. You trying to go in on
I'm not saying they don't support the community, but I'm just saying like that number, the number for them to break even keeps exponentially getting bigger because of how these games are sold and how these games are distributed. So, like I said, it's very easy to say they made their money back in X amount of time. Even if you look at Cuphead sold 1 million copies in 2 weeks. This is a $20 game, right? Okay, this is 2 weeks that it took to get there. For a $20 game, there should be an impulse buy for anybody with an Xbox or a PC. Right. It should just be an impulse buy, and it's not. It took 2 weeks to get
poor marketing, to be honest with you. Cuphead sold through word of mouth and anticipation from the hardcore fan base. You know, so
Cuphead
like I said before,
it was a good game, so it did sell through word of mouth.
It did because also the streaming, YouTube pushed that game heavy.
Why do
the fact that you was all over the place and it popped up all over. Everybody was streaming this game. It was everywhere on the internet. But as far as in the streets, the casual people knowing about it, they had to stumble upon it in Microsoft's weird store that doesn't pop up these hot games on your dashboard that should be there like a notification.
Have you seen a Cuphead commercial? Have you seen one? No, I haven't seen one. No, not
I
one.
I have not seen one. Right.
Yeah. So it's just that thing where it's like these games should be selling more. They need to be selling more. And the fact of the matter is that it's kind of unreasonable for us to say that it's not easy to get to 2 million. Like 2 million isn't really is a difficult thing to get to. Nintendo. Yeah. And that's with their tried and true franchises. So the thing is, what else can we do to sort of stave off this Loot Crate thing? Because
why is it on the consumer? Why can't they just make better games to sell?
But why are you assuming it? Why are you assuming it's just because the game is not of quality? What
if a game isn't selling to people's expectation? Is because the game was average. Let's be real here. Like bad games don't just not sell. Name me a very highly critical game that didn't sell well.
Good games sometimes don't sell.
That is true too. That is true too. On the flip side, I hear your side.
Here's the thing. There's very extreme circumstances when these do happen, and 9 times out of 10, it was on the publisher and developer that did it. Like putting Tomb Raider on the same day Fallout 4 9 times out of 10, it was a release date, and it was their decision that they thought their name was bigger than someone else's, and they lost.
Shout out to Cycle in the chat. Sunset Overdrive. People saying Titanfall 2. Also, I want to make up some points in the chat that people I don't want to overlook because the chat is really lit right now. Thank y'all for coming.
The chat is going at it.
Like Brap and I seen Anchorman made a great point as far as they felt they kind of agree with Addict as far as raising the base price. They don't feel would help eliminate that issue.
All that would do is they would do both. They would literally do both.
Yeah, shout out to B Money as well. So the key then is like, okay, we got to get down to the meat of it, right? We're trying to follow the money, right? We're trying to get down where the collection plate going as far as this Loot Crate business, and is it essential for the development of the game? Now,
what we're seeing here is we're not seeing we need to, break even, make more profit. We're seeing, oh shit, Over there, Blizzard.
They like,
Overwatch mad money off these loot boxes. Yo, dude, over there, 1-2, go over there and make them loot boxes. We need this shit in our game tomorrow.
Right. Well, the thing, to your defense, where it's seemingly becoming, I'm gonna use Salvin's favorite word, egregious, is when you have a single player game like a Shadow of War, right? Because this is kind of like uncharted territory in a sense. Now, granted, shout out to BG. People bring it to my attention, I guess, Last of Us and Uncharted, maybe they had loot crates. I'm not sure. You guys got to quote me on that. So it's not like it's a new practice. Right, we're seeing a lot of social justice warriors as far as loot boxes.
Inco, the reason Battlefront sold so well is because it has that Star Wars name. Take the Star Wars name and just name it Battlefront. Have the same games without the likeness. Let's see how many millions it sells. So the key comes down to back to the main point, which is this essential to development? Do they absolutely need this revenue? And I'm hearing mixed things. Shout out to Four Guys with Quarters, Clowns. Also want to shout out Matt Piscatella from MPD. When Clowns approached him in reference to that, Matt specifically said that he almost inferred that this is not essential to the development, but it's almost additional revenue. That's the case. They see what just greed because we going in on the boxes. They see what these companies. It's just copycatting. They see what these companies are making, and they want a piece of that pie.
Try to get their head in the box.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you now. If I'm a CEO of a company and loot crates, if I'm selling you something that physically costs
I do the same thing, man.
I'm selling you a ton of it.
You guys
get a bucket of it.
You guys don't want me to have a corporation because I'm sorry. That bad company thing that people would give EA all the time. My company had that shit all the time. Okay, because I would do anything I could to make money.
And that's the thing. That's your reason for being is to make money.
But see, that's me talking from a business standpoint. I'm a consumer. I don't give two shits about that.
I get you. So now we getting into the ethics, right? Because
that's the way to make money, and I understand their way of thinking. Don't make it right.
Doesn't mean you have to agree with it, right? Now the thing is, let's bring it back to the ethics. Now, when you look at like a Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Is there ethics in business really?
True, yeah. But I'm talking about as far as pay to win, where the loot boxes now significantly give you a multiplayer advantage over someone who doesn't. Like, I don't know this. I don't play Battlefront. I'm not most likely going to buy it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking anybody who does.
I'm buying that game.
You know what I'm saying? If there's a game,
XB1X, I'm buying that game.
And you know what's funny thing? I'm not even mad at you. And that's the other point I want to say is because I'm seeing this attack mentality on these social streets where if Lord King says he's buying it, you corporate slave, and it's slander, and it's like you're not supposed to do this. Like, you know, and who am I to tell that man what to do with his money? So that's another aspect we got to talk about.
Yeah, let me get into that. Let me get into that. Because and I'm gonna borrow from my man Enrique Brap. I'm gonna go on a little rant.
Let's go. Let's solve rant session first.
Rant special.
Let's go.
I have a problem with people getting up on their soapboxes and ascribing the word
integrity
to something like to what you choose to do and what you choose to engage with in gaming or not. When you talk about boycotting a game because it has loot boxes and you call yourself having integrity for that, that's a problem to me. That's a big word you're ascribing to a little action. Like you're not okay. Let me finish. Hold on a second. Same thing goes for people who say that about people who buy into PSN, Xbox Live. Oh, I have integrity because I don't buy into those multiplayer paywall things. I have an issue with that because integrity is a big word. When you talk about integrity in video games, talk to me about not cheating in a multiplayer game.
Not cheating at all. No substance enhancers at all.
That's integrity.
Oh, it's just a hip hop shot.
That's integrity to me. That's integrity to me. When you talk about, if you tell me my game is developed by a bunch of 8-year-olds in a Burmese sweatshop, I'm not gonna play that game. I'm not gonna play that game. That's integrity on my part.
Wait. You might not play that game, but is that game hot?
Yeah. Look, if it's premium enough, the sweatshop, you get it.
Yeah.
How hot is that game? Is that game Cuphead hot?
Yeah, I might just play it, right? Like,
what if we
integrity's out the
found out
window.
that Cuphead was made in the sweatshop, and we found out that Microsoft put the
I bought it. I bought it already. Right?
I might buy it too.
If I found out my game, all the proceeds from my game were going to the Church of Satan. Like, I'm not gonna buy that game. I'm not gonna buy that game. That's integrity on my part.
That's deep though, but how good is that game?
Exactly.
Hey, are we talking about like Half-Life 3? Like good?
I'm sorry. There's no integrity in video games. I don't care what nobody
Exactly.
says.
It's a big boy word to ascribe to very small actions. Like, we're talking about video games here, guys.
And
the fact that you rip into other people for the decisions they make. Listen, everybody has a right. These things are going to be here regardless. They're not going anywhere. If you want to speak with your wallet, don't engage with those things that you deem to be exploitative.
I think
just don't do it.
Way to combat
eliminating the games. Yeah. Hold on. Let me just finish the point. I want to finish the point because I'm gonna forget it, and then I'll let Adam go. Hold on.
Sovereign session. Let's go.
Exactly. At the end of the day, we're all part of the same hypocrisy. Every argument that we have or make can be looked at from a different angle, and somebody can find BS in it. If you're telling people to boycott games specifically, my feeling is you're not a real gamer.
Yep.
You're not a real gamer.
Yep.
So my feeling is because you're not looking at the health of the hobby as a whole. You don't love gaming. You love to play games, but you don't love gaming as a whole because you don't care what happens to it moving forward. There's certain things, there's certain practices, that you should speak with your wallet and not engage in. That does not mean boycotting an entire game because you don't want an entire studio to fall. You don't want that.
No doubt. So
let's be real here. If you're a fan of gaming, if you're a gamer and that is your hobby, you never want anyone to fail. So don't go get up on your soapbox. You're not the person I want on the soapbox telling me, listen, man, don't play this game. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Correct you. I'm a gamer and I want Platinum to fail.
Why Platinum guys?
Because they give you bad games. Because you don't like Bayonetta. Like what?
Listen, I'm not listening to Addict, but like you said, you can look at it at a different perspective. Because where Addict sees a problem, I like Transformers. I'm sorry, I'm guilty of this. I really have to tell you, I don't care who's making the game. I don't care where the proceeds is going. Is the game hot? Is the game hot? That's it. It's like a chick, is she hot? I don't care what she does. Is she hot?
King, right now on the Twitter streets, they're gonna be like, "You are a corporate slave."
I got a CS tattoo, so how can he bother me? I walk around with earmuffs.
Look at this.
I really don't hit him though.
Look at the Kabasu, like. It's funny, First, let me go on. Let me say something, okay?
Get that brand out
in the comment section that are coming at me over my Platinum, because I know you guys. Besides Bayonetta, the franchise. Besides Nier Automata, and maybe one or two other games.
Countless
of them. One good game.
Lord Chief Tommy came for our neck.
One good game, 5 shit games. One good game, 5 shit games. That's unacceptable to me.
They gotta
Lord
stay
Chief
busy,
Tommy,
man.
I gotta come for you because I love you, bro. Like you're a huge fan. I gotta point this because you said, listen, your purchase affects me. So our purchase affects you. I have every right to point out what you're doing isn't helping games deal with it. I just want to know how the purchase of another man's product affects you personally. If you have an issue with it and you choose not to support, no doubt, I respect that.
He don't want you to support. He wants you to
that's
stand
my
with him.
confusion with this, Lord Chief Tommy, and I love you. I'm not just want to add if you can rebut that later in the chat.
Company not to die to make good games, Lord Kabatu.
Yo, we off topic. Can we please get on topic?
Let's get back on.
Bottom line is this, man. Any type of developer going away is not good, especially in the AAA space. It's not good,
except for Platinum.
Except for Platinum, I guess. Just don't engage with these practices you don't like. I don't like loot crates. I'm not going to engage with them. But I'm not going to pay for one ever.
I'm buying the game though.
I'm buying the game. It's your buying the game. Like,
and I'm not gonna lie though, I might get a loot crate. See, listen, this goes into my little cell phone thing. I'm telling you, I be playing these little cell phone games, and I have one move, and I can beat this boss. All I need to do is buy this coin so I can get extra time. Yeah, I might spend that $1. You might get it. I'm sorry. It depends on how I feel at the moment. I'm shallow. I play games.
So what about when it affects like I said, give you the competitive advantage, or like
I don't care. I will do that. Like, yeah, if I want to destroy you, I'm gonna buy mad loot.
Hold on. This is kind of the same topic. This is a good question. What's worse, amiibos or loot?
Yo, listen, Brad. I'm telling you right now,
man. Can I have amiibos for 500, please?
listen. These dudes that are upset they can't afford these amiibos or find them. That's the business. I was in these streets early. I paid to win.
Consumer logic.
Listen. But has it given you any sort of competitive advantage in like in Splatoon or anything?
Behind an amiibo?
Yes.
Like I said, you can run around that single player game and be God if you want because of amiibos.
It's okay to lock amiibos, to lock Metroid.
Lord Addict's point, Metroid did lock an entire mode behind an amiibo.
Listen, Lord Cognito. Did you buy that game, Addict? Did you buy the game? I brought the game. And I brought the amiibos. I got everything. I got 100% out of it. If they don't want 100% out of the game, then don't buy the amiibos. Buy the amiibos, and you get a lot of.
Shout out to B Money. He said amiibos are at least physical, and that resale value is serious. Yeah. So, to Lord King's point, he can get something out if he sells it.
I put it on eBay. I make
it for 10, sell it for 1,000. They still did it.
So what? You on it? Amiibos in these streets. Amiibo life. Word.
We all know that Lord D need that extra.
That's right. Amiibos is life.
Nintendo games, but that doesn't mean they need to lock shit.
Amiibos is life, though.
Listen, let's get back on track. I feel what y'all saying. I mean, I'm with Sav on his rant, first ever rant. Salute you, Lord. So Sav. I think that, like I said, at the end of the day, we see what's happening in these streets. This is where the industry is going, like it or not. You know what I mean? We have the whole adage, vote for your wallet. I hear it. I get it. The only thing I'm warning these social justice warriors online is just, okay, you have to respect someone else's time, someone else's money. What they choose to do with their money in the privacy of their own house is their business. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you can stand against it. There's nothing wrong with it. You can boycott. There's nothing wrong with it. I just want us to be careful of the personal attacks I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of personal attacks. I'm seeing people being disrespected personally as a man because they bought a game that has loot boxes in it. Like, that's crazy to me.
That is ridiculous.
That's crazy to me. Like, if that, let's say, I'm gonna use this example. I'm gonna give it to you, Addict. If that person was waiting for Shadow of War his entire life, and that's his favorite game, right? And he works 9 to 5. Why are you watching another man's pocket, right? Yeah. That's his choice to do. Should I look at it? Look. Do what he wants to do.
In case anyone in the comment, in case anyone in the comment section aren't know when we're talking about, shout out to Lord Blackbone. Continue.
Hey, you gotta shout out to Damon Dash, man, because he put this out there a long time ago. That's not being a man. Stop looking at my coins. Yeah. Don't look at my
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I just want us to be careful of it. With there's practices we don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Psycho. I love you, bro. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate y'all. I like what y'all doing over there playing Xbox. So it's just like it's one of those things. Yeah, it's one of those things like it's just like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, just respect that man's purchase, what he wants to do, and we respect you for not wanting to do it. If you want to make a petition, and if it's something you feel is so egregious and you want to shut it down, there has been cases like Forza, right, where the community was upset. They didn't like with the VIP system. They went and changed it around. So there is options where the change can happen. Just be careful of the attacks. That's all I'm saying first.
You know what I say, right? I don't care.
I get people, you know, I'm never going to tell you to boycott a game. I don't care if you do. I don't care if you come at me for my purchase. I'm going to tell you to go somewhere. I don't care. I would say something else, but, you know, I'm on a PG show, so I can't. But
Kick rocks.
Respect the little Lord.
We'll say kick rocks. We'll say kick rocks. But what it comes down to,
you don't like kick rocks.
When it comes down to it, the best way I don't even think voting for wallets enough these days, because there's too many ignorant people that don't know what's going on that's going to buy it anyway. So you're 1 to 500 that don't.
You're right. They are the minority, and it's really the casuals who are falling for it, right? The casuals that are gonna. Those are the masses. Until the casuals up, right? Then it's gonna affect you.
The way that you combat this is, most hardcore gamers, that's the people that's going to, speak. Casuals aren't really going to take a stand unless Frank convinces them into doing something that they don't really comprehend or understand. But a lot of hardcore people, they follow a lot when it comes to the gaming industry. So they're more up to date with something like this. The best way, this is the reason the PC gamers get what they want all the time, is you got to be very vocal. Like, what's more effective? You not purchasing one game for $60, or the community manager for EA gets on Twitter and comes up to 10,000 notifications?
Now you're talking. See, that's how you affect change. Like, you've got to go to these community managers. You've got to go to that, what you call it's Reddit. You know what I'm saying? That title's Reddit, like I say, for example, like a Destiny or whatever. So you've got to get in there, and that's when it actually has more of a positive effect. But when you're out here attacking these dudes, you know what I'm saying, for buying a game that they like or an amiibo or whatever the hell it is, and you call, and you can't with the double standard, like Lord Saab said. People out here, attacking people for one thing, yet they buying Xbox Live and they do it. You can't have it both ways.
And even that, like, if you think about it, okay, if you're not buying into Xbox Live or PSN and you're not doing the Loot Crate stuff or whatnot, so that means the assumption is that means you're a PC gamer, right? So if you're a PC gamer, and you're a PC gamer, then if you're buying through Steam, you're contributing to the biggest monopoly in digital distribution in all of gaming, right?
Exactly. Let's get real soapboxy.
So if you don't go through Steam, let's say you go through Green Man Gaming, or you're buying a game at a 20%, 50% discount at launch, which nobody else has. Like, it's again, every point that you have, if you look at it from a different perspective, you're full of it. So it's just what it is. Like, we're all part of the problem.
He said, you got to do both. Hold that money hostage and make them brutally aware of the reason why.
Let's be real here. Certain games that might be effective, but the games that they're doing this, the games that people are talking about, the games that are getting all the momentum on the internet, they're not going to care about maybe a couple thousand people not buying their games. Look at Star Wars. It's sold like 15 million units, Star Wars Battlefront.
I'm still listening. I think Anchorman has a point, though, in the sense that we're talking to them, but not everyone's still buying the game. I think the issue comes down to, for the people who are anti-Loot Crate and saying it's gambling and stuff like that, then they've got to figure out a way to handle. No, people know that's what it is right now. They brought it to Peggy, Lord King, and they was like, yo, we want to ban this practice. And that the ESRB was like, no, we're not taking it out. Now, that could be a result of them sleeping in bed with the game developers, because the company, that could be a whole other story.
Yeah, because now gaming has to raise your children for you now.
Here's the thing. When it comes down to it, a developer is going to be more scared of you bashing his game on Twitter and saying you don't like this, really, do the hashtag and everything, then he's going to be scared of you not buying his game, because the public outrage can really matter. You can destroy a game if enough people bash on a game because of something they don't like before the game even comes out.
It's like giving you a bad review. If, like, how many times are you going to buy something if it has like 3 stars? Then you're going to look at the star rating, and you're going to look at the people that had a problem with it, and you're going to walk away from it. If it's just one person who says, oh no, I had a very bad experience with it because of X, Y, and Z, 9 times out of 10, you won't buy that product, and then you will click that this review was helpful, and you'll move on to the next, and you will go to that 5-star product that didn't have the negative review. So I understand exactly where Attic is coming from, and also understand where Sovereign is coming from. But we have to understand this, guys, and I mean, it's getting way out of control. With people giving people personal attacks of because of big companies. Voice your opinion in the forums that will allow you to be heard. That's it. Simple. If you're voicing your opinion towards somebody who's made a purchase of a game and you're trying to belittle somebody for their purchase, I believe that's shame on you, and I don't see integrity in that. So,
Facts.
what they need to do is they need to get to the posts, get to the blogs, get to the avenues that allow them to be heard. You're not being heard screaming at Tommy who purchased this game. I'm sorry. So I don't I don't care. I walk around with earmuffs. I'm buying my amiibos. I'm buying whatever the hell I want to buy, and I really don't give a damn.
Game,
you know? That's right. Hey, listen, I don't care if the game is hot. I'm shallow as hell. If the game is hot, I'm buying it, and I don't care. And I don't care who stands. I will walk across the picket line and go get a game in front of you. I will put my money down and you could be sitting there saying they got bad business practices. They got little kids doing these, and I don't care. The game is hot. Here's my money.
Lord David, picture this scenario. Lord David, he just got out of his vehicle, walking up. He sees a big ass line going around like Best Buy. I just imagine you go to Best Buy for some reason. So he comes up to them. He's like, "What's going on? We're boycotting Shadow War." He's like, "You got to get out of my way."
No, listen. I will walk right in front of them, purchase them, and say, "Shout out to you. I will support you guys after I finish the game. God bless."
I'm done.
He'll be walking. Everyone's looking at him, and he's getting in his car. He's like, "I'll be back for Battlefront next week."
Before we move left, then we go too left with this joint. It's one last point I want to aspect to bring it to the Lords in reference to Luke Case and then finish this thing up. What about the whole aspect with the gambling? I'm seeing a lot of stuff now. People saying that this is affecting kids. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, Lord King. I know you don't agree with it.
God.
People are saying they went to the SRB and these guys and they're saying, hey, can we get these loot boxes completely out? My kids are affected. This is basically saying that to the letter of the law, loot boxes.
Who's these rats?
These are RNG system. They say that it's an RNG system that to the letter of the law is gambling. Right?
We need to single these people out and get them out of the community. Who are these people? I'm tired of these people. Like, listen. I'm tired of this topic about it. This is not important.
You know what the funny thing is?
Not important at all.
You know
what you gotta do is stop thinking video games is gonna raise your kids. Don't get them then. Just stop it.
You know what the funny thing is like they'll be saying this. Oh, it hurts my kids about an M-rated game. I'm like, you're hopeless. Just go somewhere.
My kid is going to be a degenerate gambler because of Shadow of War. Go away.
Go away. Watch your kids. Watch your kids. Make sure that you don't have any auto pay sort of stuff on your system where they crack open the loot crate and it immediately allows them to purchase something and keep
right. There's this thing called parental control.
Exactly, and make sure that doesn't happen. But it teaches them gambling. I mean, these kids, come on, man.
Look, I will say that it's a stretch to say that it's gambling, but I will say I understand where they're trying to put them together.
Right now, because my thing is, what do you say to the people who say like, I didn't know little Jimmy was on the Xbox and he bought, 10,000 VCs.
That's your business.
Then you need to smack your kid for spending $10,000.
So the Lord saying like it's come down to better parenting. You want them to better
parent.
You need to watch your kids. I mean, I don't disagree that loot boxes at their core, especially the pay ones, do kind of scratch that itch for people that have that sort of addictive mentality where they like to just have more and more.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. But at the same time, it's not their problem that you leave your kids alone with that sort of stuff. You need to watch your kids.
What type of parent puts their credit card on the kid's Xbox and let them run around on
their profile and lets them rock out?
Like it's on you, bro.
Shout out to Lord Big Money. He says his son is 104 Rainbow Six, hasn't spent an extra penny on all the characters. You know what I'm saying? All right, Lord Chief Thomas is with us, man. He was like that. Stop laughing. What's wrong with you? Do you not understand that there's only two differences? Winnings can't be exchanged for real currency. One always wins something. So Lord Chief Thomas, he's really on his soapbox. He's really not feeling You know what I'm saying? Like this whole loot box thing.
Yo, Tommy, I'm gonna buy loot crates, so I'm gonna buy Amiibos, and I'm not gonna care if you sit there and say, don't do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna stop. I can't stop it. I'm shallow.
Yo, all I would say, Lord Tommy, in your defense, go ahead. So I'll let you finish. I don't want to attack.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You can go ahead, dude.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those things. I understand
respect
the
his
sentiment.
opinion.
I do understand the sentiment.
Yeah.
I just want to be very clear with the sentiment, and I want to be very clear as far as what I consider habitual line stepping. Right? You know what I'm saying? Where companies every night they keep pushing, and
I'm gonna lose a topic.
They're out of their boundaries. Like just because I ain't gonna boycott or go at people for boycotting, I ain't condoning none of this nonsense.
Exactly. That's what we're saying. Like, we understand what's going on here. We're not trying to minimize that either. That's all I'm trying to say for you.
And you speak with your wallet by not engaging in that stuff.
Exactly.
The stuff is there. Ignore it.
Right. Exactly.
Company got to make money. They got to make money. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The company has to make money. They put it there. If you want to pick it up, it's on you. They told you. Yeah. It's available if you want to. And if one person gets it and he gets the advantage, shame on him. No. Yeah. Applaud that man for having extra bucks and the know-how.
I'm done. And on that note, we gotta move on because we beat Lootbox to death. But shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to everybody with their opinions. This is a hot one right now. Appreciate all the feedback. Even when you don't agree with the Lords, we respect that, man. We really do appreciate
that. But I'm still gonna buy it.
I'm done. So, moving on, Lord Addict. Some bundles out here being announced in these streets. What's going on with these bundles?
We're calling the bundles, right? Like we are calling the bundles. All right, just making sure. So let's go in with these bundles. Let me go to this. Give me 2 seconds, you guys. I want to screenshot it. Which one is it? It's this one.
I know which one it is.
Shout out to Lord Anthony Kawana in the chat. He already going in. He said all those bundles are horrendous.
The worst bundles ever.
Oh. Can you click on it, B?
All right, 1 second. I'm already seeing where you at. Oh man. Yeah. I got you, bro.
Yeah, you have to share it to everybody. Yeah. But all right, so we're gonna be talking about these 4 magical beasts.
Bring it up. There you go. Woo! Yeah.
So I agree with the first one. Well, let's break it down. Okay, we got 4 new bundles that have been announced. Okay, we got the one and done Halo 5 in the Master Chief Collection. Then we got the 3 months. Is that 3 months ago to 3 months of Xbox Live Pass? Okay, so we got that. Then we got Rocket League. Let me repeat that. We got Rocket League. All right. Then we got Minecraft, which I understand the Minecraft, but I kind of don't understand the Minecraft because the last time I checked, we already had a Minecraft bundle. It was a custom bundle that they messed up on and priced wrong, but I digress. But so let's talk about the Halo one. Do you guys agree with the Halo bundle?
Yes. I mean, Halo's big. Still,
it's their mascot.
Yes. Yeah. It's their baby. And I'm actually before you move on to the next bundle, I'm actually impressed that they even acknowledge Master Chief Collection exists based on the history. Yep. So I thought that was kind of cool. But that's me. Continue.
Yep. All right. So then we got the Games with Gold and Game Pass. I agree with this one. I completely agree with this.
I don't agree with that because one thing, that 3 months crap, it should be a year.
It's never going to be a year.
It's never going to be a year, and don't buy it. It's never going to be a year, and don't buy it.
It's unrealistic to think they're going to put a year of this in there.
Lord P Money said how many years they're going to try and sell that Halo bundle. I'm done. Continue. Anthony agrees with Lord King. It should be a year.
Anyone else besides Lord Unreasonable have anything to say about the
Thank you, Sleep. The Lord of Sleep has found me as the Lord.
Lord Chief Tommy, you're not a nobody. We want your feedback, baby.
Nah, yo, you're not a nobody, Lord, Chief Tommy. No, man. Like, I really look forward to you every Sunday. I'm not gonna lie. 100.
Look, so you got people in our chat feeling all sorts of way, Lord King.
Nah,
Like,
man,
that's what I got.
This is what we're here for. This is what we're here for. It's all love, man.
Chief Tommy, I'm shallow, bro. I'm shallow.
I will agree with Lord Fastback in the comment section. I think 6 months would be a little bit more reasonable. I think 3 months is. I think 6 would be good, but
okay.
There's no way a year would be in there.
1 year.
Maybe a year of gold and 3 months of Xbox Game Pass would be something. But I think all of these are $399, correct?
Okay. These are all $400 bundles. Yeah, there needs to be 6 months.
No, I think they're $299. My bad, $299.
What's the vote? What's the Lord's consensus? Individual vote for that bundle. What do we feel? Yay, nay?
Well, is it present Constitution? Nay.
Nay, yeah.
Okay. Nay.
No,
okay, I say nay.
Someone in the comment section said it's $279.
Good. Make it $299 and make it a year. Anyway, next.
Yeah, it's $279. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it's
So okay, then we have the one that I literally don't understand. What do the lords think of Xbox One S putting
Super Nay
Rocket League?
Super Nay.
I can tell you what happened there. I'm gonna tell you what happened in that Rocket League thing. Somebody slept with somebody to get their bundle included in this.
Somebody serious allegation. Do you got some receipts to prove that?
No, I don't, and I'm just throwing out speculation. But if we dig hard enough, I'm pretty sure that somebody did some backroom dealings and somebody slept with somebody to get their Rocket League up there.
I will agree with Lord King. It seems a bit weird because Rocket League doesn't. Rocket League. I just don't understand. That's just me personally. I don't get that one. So this one's a nay from me. Losov?
Yeah, it's definitely a nay from me. I mean, I think maybe I don't know what the sales numbers are for Rocket League on Xbox One, but I mean, Rocket League was big when it first launched because it was on PS Plus and it came out and everybody had it. And then it still continued to sell well on PlayStation and PC. So I can see it not selling well on Xbox and trying to get it into more homes.
But B Money just made a point. I don't know if it's true.
He made a good point.
Yeah, he said Rocket League is promote purely for Nintendo crossplay. That will people know they have it. So is it official now with the Rocket League being crossplay?
It's been official that they are going to be doing crossplay.
Okay, so that's official.
But I feel like all right, replace that Rocket League with Cuphead.
Yeah, Cuphead.
Put Rocket League.
Why is Cuphead not there? Yeah.
Put Rocket League with Game Pass.
Yep.
And completely take that Minecraft bundle off because they already have a Minecraft bundle. It's not my fault you priced $100 more than it should have been.
Yeah.
And replace that with Lucky Tales.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna do
No, not Lucky Tales because Lucky Tales is mainly for the Xbox One X. Hey, did you see it running on regular Xbox? Yo.
No.
That's not a premium look.
It's not a premium situation. Yo, listen, it was having a hard time running on an X because remember that game was a VR game and it's heavy in the CPU offload. And being that the CPU is only a upgrade, it's not even what is it? A boost? It's overclocked. It's an overclocked CPU. Is really heavy. I know y'all look at it as a simplistic game. No, the VR experience to that game puts it as a higher CPU offload. It's not really, beneficial for the regular Xbox at all.
Shout out to Lord Jazz.
Jazz in the building. PX
for some reason, he changed his stuff to grind my gears. I don't know what's going on there, but
we know it's you, Jazz.
No doubt. I think you've had my entire panel from Planet Xbox in here, but kid.
That's what's Psycho King, dude. Yo, that's what's up.
Requeno,
it's lit out here, man.
Requeno, you gotta listen to this from the beginning.
Classic material.
Boxing heaven, bro.
We talked about 5 minutes of absolutely nothing, Requeno.
Well, I was allowing you to go get your Red Bull or your 5-hour energy and your coffee. So you can wake up, Captain Sleeper.
Lord, let's finish these bundles.
It feels nice to be considered, Lord. I appreciate it.
Let's finish these bundles out, Lords. Let's finish these bundles out.
All right, so Minecraft.
The vote?
Oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna say yay, nay.
Rocket League, nay. Minecraft, I'm gonna say yay. I think.
Yeah, it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell.
It's gonna sell. It's gonna sell. That's their baby.
They've been pushing this crap on everybody forever. Yo, listen, that custom system, yeah, that's great. Now, if you would have priced the custom system with the Minecraft, you could put that as that bundle. That would have been nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what? Okay, good. Push that out there. That shouldn't even be a thing. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. It's two of those bundles is doing their own thing, and two of those bundles is not the same. They should not be in there, right? Like Cuphead should be there, and like Lord Addict said, that Rocket League should be in Game Pass. Get it out of here. Like, they was just filling. I'm telling you, when you look at the videotape, you're gonna notice somebody did some button with somebody to get their bundle in there. Put my bundle in there.
Xbox. Continue talking. I'm going to look up other bundles that's been out this year.
Well, I'm going to tell right now, like I said, I know you're going with that, King, with the Minecraft joint. My thing is, where's the Forza at?
Like,
where's Forza? This is your baby.
Black Friday is coming. Black Friday. Black Friday is you're gonna get the real bundles. Mm-hmm. Those bundles that you go in and pick your game.
Have Shadow of War bundles also. There is a Shadow of War bundle, right?
Yes, they do. Yeah. They got it. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much it. I agree with Lord Ag overall. Just to put a cherry on it, these were kind of underwhelming to me. You know what I'm saying?
It was head scratching.
Yeah, very head scratching. The Rocket League, I don't know what's going on there. Like, I can't call that one. Minecraft to me was expected. Halo was kind of expected. They're gonna ride that train, until the wheels fall off. That I kind of expected. I was actually surprised they mentioned Master Chief, and I'm curious to see if Master Chief Collection has any fixes by the time the bundle come out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I felt Forza was a missed opportunity. Hopefully with Black Friday, Cuphead can be included. Cuphead needs to be out here. You know what I'm saying? This is it. This is their win. Like remember earlier, the Lords, we called 2017 the year of the L.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This is their win. Yep. It's Cuphead. You know what I'm saying? Yep. This is critically acclaimed.
They got a fire beat. They need to ride that beat. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Let's go. You got to promote these guys. I see Phil out there retweeting MHDR Studios and stuff like that. The game's critically acclaimed.
Retweeting it and not buying them?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the financial situation. I don't know how.
These out there, get those dudes. Buy them.
We got to see. I mean, Microsoft does control it, right? They control the entity. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shout out to Brap. There's another thing. PUBG. What's up with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another missed opportunity.
Well, what we want with PUBG is we want the official release of the game. So when the game officially is released, instead of going to that preview crappy program, oh my God.
I don't think they would put a preview program game in a bundle. I don't think
exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. No, you're right.
So they're waiting for the go ahead because they gave it the weird extra long name now. So the game is going to be released.
I don't think so. Wishful thinking.
No doubt. Lord Attic, you back? I see you back. Yeah, little drop.
I had no clue what was going on there.
Right,
cool. Your joint went quiet for a minute, right?
Well, I'm sitting there. Okay, I don't need to share this anymore. And I'm like, why isn't it all letting me stop sharing this? And I was like, and then I looked at like the feed for the live feed. I was like, why is my icon gone? Like, I'm but I'm not there.
It's all good. We got it straight. But that's what you got to finish up on the the bundle topic, Lord Attic, before you move on. So you move on to
that's pretty much all. Like,
no doubt.
That's all. Like they.
So now we got Lord Cognito's topic. Which I've been waiting for, chomping at the bit. So, as we know, our Lord and Savior, Xbox only begotten son, Phil Spencer, Ahmed, he actually put out a statement, and this is in reference to the Xbox One X. And he said the Xbox One X is not for everyone. He said the Xbox One S will be the market leader for us, and it's the more affordable console. So just again, it's obviously on the eve of the Xbox One launch, X launch. We know it's coming. We got one more month. Everyone's getting hype. You know what I'm saying? And He made this comment at a Brazil game show, you know what I'm saying? And for all purposes, you know, intent purposes, this is correct. We know that the Xbox One X is, you know what I'm saying, kind of considered almost the elite controller of the system, so to speak, right? He made that comparison, you know what I'm saying? Now, the question I want to bring to the Lord is, one, do we think this is a mistake by him saying these kind of comments? Two, do we think Microsoft is underestimating the whole demand of the Xbox One X, which is going to lead into my next point, which is about the Xbox One X stock?
I think
I'm going to give it to you right now. Give me 1 second. I'm going to finish this last one, which is right now, a lot of, again, for clarity, this is UK retailers, right, are putting out that their stock for the Xbox One X is a fraction of what they originally thought they would get from, you know, as far as retail is concerned. You know, some thought they were going to get, you know, hundreds of units as they requested based on demand. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is not pre-orders. Pre-orders are fine. But we're talking about walking in retail that day of, right? People that are not us and going to try to pick one up. People, these retailers are saying in the UK that, hey, they requested like 100 based on demand. They got 5 units. So my question to the Lord, based on Phil's comments, based on supposed Xbox One X stock issues, is this going to be a problem the way Microsoft is handling this?
I think what Phil Spencer and what the Microsoft brand's doing and what corporate's doing is, let's be real, I think they're trying to, you know, for the most part, I wouldn't say unfairly, but, you know, besides 2017, I wouldn't really say they've been attacked by the media, but, you know, they've had every negative thing they've ever had highlighted by the media, like excessively. So I feel like they're trying to be like, yo, like, you know, just in case if we don't do numbers like we think, and let's try to downplay it. That way people are just surprised and not disappointed.
Now here's my question to you, Ag. In that case, we know the pre-order sold out and there's tremendous demand, right? You know what I'm saying? But do you think they may be making a mistake? What if there's people that go to a store in November, right? They had their intention to pick up an Xbox One X. It is not available if they didn't pre-order. Do you not think this has a negative effect as far as the competition? And we all know what the competition is in November. This ties into bending knee segments. Do we think
I mean, regardless of this is, they're going to win November just off pre-orders.
Okay. Lord King, I need you on this.
Yeah, I was waiting for everybody to flush out their ideas. I think
okay.
this,
right. So my bad.
listen,
no,
I got it. Coming in right now. Hey, Phil, you're a genius, bro. Yo, Phil, I believe in your vision. And when you said it, when you told them, hey, you know, it's not for everyone. We do have a bundle. It could sound a little Dom Matrix, you know, type of thing, but it's not. It's not. It's Phil style. And let me tell you what Phil did. Phil just elevated it to a place where, I want to be part of that crowd place. All right. So you have put it in a space where if somebody ever came over to your house and you had a Elite controller and you passed them your controller and they've never touched it, they was like, whoa, what's this? Microsoft makes this? That's the Elite controller. Oh, how much is it? $150. That guy left your house thinking about how he can get this $150 to go get that controller. Because
that guy left your house and like, I'm cool with the one they gave me.
No, I mean, that might work for you, but it doesn't work for all. And thank God you're not the majority.
Look at King David thinking the majority bought the controller.
I sat back and I allowed you to talk.
The minority bought the controller. Don't be throwing out buzz like that.
Put your blanket over your head and go to sleep.
Hey, don't be saying that, man, because I'm liable to take you up on that.
I know. You got the cake to sleep. Now, anyway, back to what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by the sleep captain. I like what he did. And also he knows that they're gonna make an artificial shortage. All right. It's worked for Nintendo to such a degree that if they can produce an artificial shortage on these systems and they tell everybody, weekly, you might be able to get a couple of copies. We're going to be trickling it in. People are going to be buying this thing well into next year. The resale value alone on these things will force people into the stores to search for these systems. So, and if you go to your friend's house and they don't know the skinny on the system and they have the system and you see it, you're like, whoa, that's different. Oh, it's a boost. You're going to leave that house with that feeling of, I got to be included in this elite package as well. So I love the way where Phil went with it. I like the marketing idea behind it. Create the artificial shortage narrative to it, and also make it feel like it's a premium elite thing for you to have it.
Lord King, before I pass it, I just want to ask you one question. Now, what about, I understand that logic, and I totally see where you're going. I'm not knocking that. My question to you is, what do you say for the people, like I said, these retailers that are saying they requested 100. Now, what about the people who actually come in on store November 7th? There's only 5 units and there's nothing to pick up.
Fight. Fight for it. Put the World Star there.
I agree.
Yeah, I got 5.
Don't you think that this runs the risk of majority of customers going to gravitate towards a cheaper console?
100 games for some X's.
Nintendo Switch, PlayStation bundle, or whatever it is. Like,
maybe not.
This has effect if it's not on shelves.
Maybe not. That's the risk you run when you do this artificial shortage stuff. Maybe not.
Here's the thing.
Maybe you make them fight for it.
Okay, let's be real here. Would the Switch have sold what it did if it didn't have Zelda on launch when it did that artificial?
No doubt, facts. But regardless of how it got there, what does
Xbox got to push out to make people?
You keep telling us, these ifs. We don't live in the land of if. This is what happened. All right.
Okay,
we're gonna live in the land of facts.
We can say
a lot of things. We can say a billion things with if. Stop that. If is out the door.
but no, you're comparing a completely different scenario to a completely unrelated one.
What's your point, lad?
It's like, look, the reason that the Switch works the way it does is because it's got exclusive. You can only get it on that platform, and it's the hot thing right now, and it's own thing. It doesn't have an S. It's the lower tier.
No, it's not Addy coming around. Is he jumping on the train?
That's besides the point. I'm saying.
No, keep talking that talk. I like when you talk that way.
I'm saying that the Switch doesn't have a stand-in version like the S does with the X.
Okay, facts.
You have to just get this. People are gonna walk in there and they'll be like, "Where's the X?"
Microsoft want the S to sell. He just said it.
We're talking about X's right now. That's what we're
right. And he just said that they're pushing the S as the narrative.
We're talking about the supply demand and whether or not it's going to hurt the overall scenario of the X. Right. So people are gonna walk in. They'll be like, "Yo, I want an Xbox brand." We're talking about casual people come from PlayStation. They go walk in. They'd be like, "I need an X." They'd be like, "Well, we don't have an X, but we got a Pro." Well, I'll take that then. That's what's literally gonna happen.
And then you know what? Then they sold the Pro. Oh well.
But we're talking November NPD.
Yeah, but
two lords said
Microsoft is gonna win.
I said at the beginning they're gonna win just off of pre-orders alone. They're gonna have at least 2 million off of pre-orders.
Okay. Lord Sav, you've been
quiet. All right. So that's the Phil Spencer thing. The Phil Spencer thing, again, that's the narrative they've had with this system from the very beginning, that it's not for everybody. The moment at E3 that the system wasn't announced at $400, they continued that narrative. So him saying that it's at this point is still not for everybody, it is what it is. Like I didn't expect anything different from him. They said all along they're going to push that S narrative, so the S is what they're pushing as the console that's going to sell the most. In terms of the stock, it's a detriment. It definitely is a detriment because with the excitement that you're seeing, I expected the Project Scorpio edition to sell out. I honestly didn't expect the pre-orders for the base X to sell out, and in most places they're sold out. Like I think maybe Best Buy still has it, but I don't even know if that guarantees you're getting it day one. but most places are sold out in terms of just their base regular Xbox One X, which is something I did not expect. So looking at that, I would say, yeah, they have a problem if they don't have enough stock in store for people to come in and buy it. You need at least, in these big stores, in the Targets, you need at least 100.
Listen, I'm trying to get my resales at 2,500, bro.
I know you have.
There we go.
I hope there's nothing in the streets. I hope there's nothing in the streets. I got those pre-orders, 2,500. Let's go.
How many do you have?
I got 5 of them. 5 Scorpios. Let's go.
That's so he can fund his LG his flat screen, the LG flat screen that goes up on the wall.
Yes, the paper.
Lorenko says they're still available in Europe. Continue, Lossoff.
Yeah. So it's one of those things, like when you look at the fact that the base pre-orders are almost out, again, they may still have them in certain places. You know, there's some demand for that. You need to have a decent amount of stock in stores, anywhere from like 60 to 100 consoles in stores. They're gonna move. That's what I say. Like, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry, because they're not in that position. It's like Alex said, like they don't have that killer app that puts them in a position where they can be like, oh, you know, we have the new hot thing, and you pay
nobody going on eBay to buy an X for $1,500.
2,500. It's 2,500, and I already sold one of them.
I need receipts. I need that sold thing.
I'll show you. Yo, listen, I already got the payment. I will send you the picture, and then you can go back to sleep.
Now my question:
are you gonna keep saying this sleep thing over and over again? Like, are you fascinated with me sleeping all of a sudden? Like, what's going on there, man? Are you coming here when I'm asleep and I don't know it? Like, what is up with you and me asleep? Why you want me to sleep so bad, King?
Pill with the pill, baby. Drink the cup. Drink the cup. Drink the cup.
Like I was saying, back on track. So the question is, with that being said, right, and with now, we just admitted the segment before, we're not fans of these Xbox One S bundles, right? These bundles seem uninspiring, right? So my question is, how do you expect them, or the Lords expect them, to win the month with limited stock? We know Nintendo's ramping up production. We've got articles saying they're talking like 2 million or whatever it is. They're on deck, you know, and we still have Sony. Let's not act like Sony's not a factor out here, right? So we still, with all these things, do these two Lords of mine, Lord Addict and Lord King, feel that without a shadow of a doubt.
Stand behind my words, brother.
Yeah, I'm still there. Like, here's the
Stand
thing.
behind my words.
Here's the thing. Okay, let's say, let's throw out, like, you know, numbers from, you know, previous years. Last year they sold a little over 1 million, you know, just the regular X's, well, not the X's, obviously the standards. Okay, so let's say they do around that, because it's the holiday. You got Black Friday, you got all that. So you got that. Let's say they sell half of that, you know, just half. And so let's say they sell 600,000 Xbox One X's, and I think that's underballing it. I kind of think it's going to be a little higher than that. So I mean, we up to like 1.5, 1.6, and like that is way over what the competition sold last year. But obviously the Nintendo Switch wasn't here last year. But my only thing with the Switch is I think a lot of people are going to go out and buy a Switch when Mario comes out.
Yep.
And I think they're going to want that bundle when it drops. And that's going to be in October, the end of October, and that's not going to be in November MPDs.
No, but remember, you're right. From a technicality standpoint, it's, what is it, the 27? What is it?
Yeah, 27.
Yeah, 27. Okay. So it's that like very last week of October.
You know, they're going to get these bundles because of you know the shortage rate that people expect from Switches. They're not going to wait a month later. The majority of these Switches of those bundles are going to be purchased in October. So, and then I have another issue. I don't know how Nintendo saying they are, you know, doubling production. It's like, okay, so are you wanting to sell 1 million in Black Friday? Like, can they have the stock to sell all of November and Black Friday? Because I don't know if they can do that, because they can literally sell on Black Friday what they sold all month, just on Black Friday again. So I don't understand.
That's a good point. That's a valid point.
Their stock means nothing to me unless I see the stock.
But this is the thing, though. Like throughout the whole year, this is why they've had these artificial shortages throughout the year. Because this is what they've been stockpiling. They stockpiling them.
Like they switch them, baby. We gonna hustle them so.
I mean, honestly, again, throughout the whole year, you would have consoles right before big Nintendo releases, before Splatoon, before Mario Kart, before ARMS. All of a sudden, consoles appear in stores, and it's the same thing. So everything else they've been stockpiling. When they say 2 million, it's because they would not come out with a number like that if they didn't feel confident they could come close to hitting that. So to me, they've been stockpiling all year long.
I mean, they can stockpile, but what is their version of what have they put out a number of how many they have? What their stockpile?
Well, we have a number on how many Xbox One X does it.
That's just walk in and buy it. That's not pre-ordering. Pre-ordering is what they're going. How many did the Switch sell just on pre-orders? Just on pre-orders.
I don't know.
How many of the Xbox One original sell just on pre-orders? What, it was like 2.5, 2.3?
I don't know. I don't know if the
PlayStation was like 1.7, 1.8 NPD.
Yep, we won that first month, and that was it.
No, Xbox won 2 months of that year in NPD, and they lost ever since then, pretty much. Like when it comes down to it, it's like I get that it's a hot product, and I get that the Switch is going to do well. No doubt in my mind it beats PlayStation. No doubt in my mind. And if if it beats Xbox, it's not like
hey, they coming around. We said it. It's coming around.
No,
I'm not acknowledging that, bro.
I'm being realistic here. There is a possibility they can. I just don't think it's high. I don't.
Not putting it in the
I do not think it's high.
I'm putting that negative energy out there. You're not visualizing your knee touching the canvas.
No. Nope.
If you want my honest opinion, I think Sony gonna be dead last.
But
only because they stole the most.
Even with the marketing rights, even with a lot of the.
I get that, but at the people don't realize how much a pre-order and how much a new product sells right out the gate. If we were talking December, I'd be like, yo, there's probably no chance that Xbox wins in December. But we talk about the launch month. It'll be a different story if it came out the end of November. It was like the 28th, 29th, but it's the beginning of the November.
What's the beginning of November? Oh, you're talking about you mean Xbox One X, right?
Yeah,
that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
It's going to be significant. I guarantee
you, available all month long.
They have that. What they're talking, the way they're talking, it's only going to be whatever pre-orders.
But I think right?
The pre-orders is going to be enough. What you got to consider is you got to consider the S. The S is probably going to sell double what the X sells, and when you put them both together, it's probably going to tower over everything.
But the bundles though is not bundles.
But see, here's the thing: those bundles don't apply to us. But who do they apply to? $279.
You're right.
They apply. They scream casual.
You're right. Rocket League is casual. I don't know if Minecraft's casual, but it's popular.
People don't walk in and Halo, see a 220. Because I do, Lord Jazz, he says he thinks they're going to drop the S is $50 for Black Friday, which is a good possibility. So someone walks in, sees $250, and especially the Game Pass. They see 3 months of Game Pass, 3 months of Xbox Live Gold. I don't have to buy either one of those. They're like, well, what does Game Pass have? There'll be like 100 games. You'll be like, put it in my cart.
Look, these are good arguments. So I'm just glad the Lords they're coming around.
No, wait. Time out.
Lord Addict's coming around.
Yeah, okay, bro.
It's not anything about coming around. It's about being realistic. Like it really is.
I respect it because 2 months ago we wasn't realistic, and I like that you're on the realism train. I like that.
I've said from the start it depends on their stock. I've said from the start it depends on Nintendo's stock. And to be honest with you, they could have stock to go through Black Friday.
No, you've always said that. In your defense, you've always said that. And your whole concern was that you didn't believe Nintendo would have the stock.
I don't think that they'll have the stock to get through all of Black Friday.
I agree with you.
Some stock, and there's a difference between having stock for Black Friday and having stock for Black Friday.
Batu makes a good point. He says Minecraft and Rocket League are cross-play with Switch, which Microsoft has been pushing. So you think maybe that might be like a little side hustle by Microsoft to eat off the Switch success?
Like I think
those two games. Because Rocket League comes out, I believe, in that month. I believe Rocket League comes out for Switch in that month.
Like there's a like let's say what I mean by are they going to get through Black Friday is I meant you got that panel. You walk in there, they open the doors to Walmart. You walk in there, they got that panel of Switches. How many panels of those do they got in the back?
We're gonna see. I just know shout out to B-Money.
Most of the time,
real quick.
They got like 6 or 7 panels of Xbox One S's and panels of PS4s. How many Switches are they going to have back there?
Oh, no, they already have that. No, that's going though. In Best Buy and all that, that's going down. They already have the Mario stuff up on deck. That's a fact. The kiosks is in there. So Nintendo's on their game with that. I got to give them that. Shout out to B-Money with his point. It was like, don't sleep on Sony. They can still drop the pro pricing for the holiday as well. Sony is still holding its cards.
They better drop the price to the floor on that Pro, because it ain't doing anything anyway. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for that Pro. That Pro's dead.
I agree with the Mario thing, but how much of that bundle are they going to use in October? When Mario
it's only like out? A few days in October. You acting like it's the middle of October.
But people are going to pick it up. When is the bundle come out?
But didn't Zelda have the same carryover effect where it came out, or one of them games that they
Zelda came out at the beginning.
Right, my bad. You're right. It's not that. It was Mario Kart. Mario Kart came out at the end of the month prior, right? Won that NPD for the short week, and then proceeded the next month.
We're comparing a $60 title to a $300 machine.
We're talking the same thing with Xbox One S, right? We're talking the same thing.
I said we're comparing the NPD sales of a software, comparing it to a hardware.
Yeah, but you got. I mean,
but that Mario is sold on its own title that people have been waiting to push Switch hardware. Like that is the flagship title for Switch.
What I'm saying is, a lot of those sales are going to be in October. Obviously there's some going to carry over. So no one's going
to get a November Switch Mario bundle. Everyone's going to say, we got it in October, we're finished.
I think
only the hardcore buying it on the 27th or whenever it comes out. Only the hardcore. Everybody else is going to wait till November. Everybody else is going to try to
how many of these Mario bundles are going to be available for?
That's the question.
For November. How do we know that these Mario bundles aren't going to the majority? Obviously, I think Nintendo going to keep a little bit for Black Friday. They're going to try to keep some of that stock, but at the end of the day, that's their biggest title. Are they going to hold all of them back? How much are they going to hold for that? Versus
claiming that they're on deck for that whole purpose of November. It's going to be interesting.
They be saying all the time that they increase in stock, and we still see shit sold out in 2 days.
Chief Tommy, that was hilarious. He said Sony is out of it. They support sexual harassment. I am done.
Chief Tommy is on fire today.
Chief Tommy's back today, baby. He's back.
Sorry, I shouldn't joke about that.
It's so good, man.
We don't. Notice that that's not a topic. We don't want to touch that.
Touching that topic.
We ain't gonna touch it. Saying shout out to Tick last night. You know what I'm saying? B-Money, Anchor, Cal. They definitely hit it on the head. Please listen to them on that show.
No, Lord Jazz. Tim Dog double checked
allegedly.
That. Yeah, he double checked that. Jazz. It doesn't carry over.
No doubt. Shout out to Enrique. He's like, how many customers are gonna buy a new 4K TV for a console?
That's Black Friday. They $400 right now. For you cheap ones, the cheap ones, it's $400.
Yep.
That's with the no HDR. You got no HDR in your box. But
no, this is gonna be fun. I go front. This is probably all jokes aside. I know we all kidding, ripping each other. It's gonna be fun to see what happens, man. This is probably one of the most competitive.
We gotta close out though. We gotta let these people go.
Yeah, we gotta let these people
football
go.
Time, bro.
Football's coming. We're gonna close this thing out. We're gonna pay the bills right quick and get this thing out. But it's gonna be a fun month. So that great topic, guys. It's gonna be good. All right. So real quick, new ILP poll via Lord Addict. With the success of games like Cuphead, Zelda, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Hellblade, etc. Especially Zelda, especially Cuphead.
Completely changed the entire format of the Zelda format just to do that.
Are we seeing a resurgence in hard difficulty games becoming popular? So A, yes, real gamer skills are back in a big way. B, no, difficult games don't equal good games. That is the question. Those are the choices. The ILP Twitter poll.
Can I put a third on there?
Sure. What's the third? Go for it.
The third one is get good scrub.
Do you cheat and get gaming enhancers? Do you cheat and you change the root code so you can walk through the game with your gaming enhancing self?
Oh no, Hip Hop, we see you, baby. We got something cooking up. That's gonna be good. What was your third one? Lord Attic before we get out of here.
I want the third one to read Get Good Scrub. That's what I want.
Yo, you should put down there the third one. The fourth one should be, or do you game enhance? So you can get past the difficulties.
I am done. Yo, shout out to the chat today, man. Appreciate y'all. Y'all was in here strong. Please hit that like, subscribe to the ILP on all the Intercenter Network media outlets.
Stick around for what I say next.
iTunes, Google Play. Hit that amazing TickGN Patreon. We got our Multiverse brothers on deck on Monday, so they next in line. Make sure you come check them out. Link is in the description. All that stuff helps the Lord. Lord King, you have something else you want to close out? You said you want.
I want everybody to do their outros. Do your outros. Do it.
No doubt. Lord Attic, my brother from another mother. Where can the people find you? What's going on with the Attic channel and PX?
You can find me on Twitter, Lord Attic ILP. You can find me on Xbox Live, Room to Kill, PSN when I'm ever on there, Room to Kill. And you can find me on YouTube, Gaming Addict. I've been doing a live stream of Shadow of War. You can find me there. Thanks for everyone coming. Make sure you like that button. I expect at least 40 on this thing. So make sure you hit that like button.
Lord Sovereign, where can the people find you?
Yes, definitely. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Like, you guys got to understand that we're here to have these discussions, man, and to get at each other, but in a playful and a positive way.
I'm only here to go at the
be an anchor.
When you woke.
I told you, man. Like, what is your obsession with me sleeping?
I ain't go for the Lord sleep shit. It's funny. It is trending.
Lord of the sleep, man. Bend the knee.
So the 5 people can find me on Twitter at Lord Sob ILP and on Xbox Live and PSN at BX Sovereign.
No doubt. Lord King.
It's here, son. Yo, listen. Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. This is actual factual truths. This week, right now, after I leave out of here, I'm going upstairs to my PlayStation. I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna play for PSN for the month. I understand, because I got a match coming up with Hip Hop. I'm using performance enhancing gamer. I got a match with him. And listen. I'm gonna give y'all all the parameters later after the fact. After I clean his clock. I'm going to clean his clock. You understand me? No, shut up. I'm going to clean his clock. You understand? I'm going to break him down, and it's gonna be all on video. It's gonna be on Twitch. It's gonna be live stream, and we're gonna put that on the Twitch network. And you guys are gonna see me live in the flesh break a dude down. So I'm going to break him down to his last compound. He's not going to be able to be found again after this. He's not going to go online again after this. After this, I'm going to destroy him so bad that you're not going to see him again. Watch.
I do have a request, okay? There's a really, really good chance that Lord King David sweeps this dude, but just off the off case that somehow
you always like to put that stupidness in the universe. Nobody listen to that, bro. That's not even here, bro. We don't entertain that.
You gotta let me finish.
We don't gotta let you finish. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Just off the
go to sleep like Hip Hop Gamer.
That he loses this game. I want everyone in the chat to go to Lord King David's Twitter and tweet him the letter L, and that's all.
Yo, listen. We all know. This is kind of messed up that you got a team member that's not supporting you to the fullest. So listen, man. Watch your dude with the quinine. Your man over there, he got the quinine. So watch him. And I want the first person I'm gonna text, I'm gonna tweet, I'm gonna get at is Addict. I said, I told you, bro. Don't you ever doubt me. When the lights come on, the king performs. Listen,
I opened the conversation.
No, I don't care about what you said. Anything you do, I support you 100%. So I don't want to hear nothing you got to say right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. When the lights come on, the king performs. I'm going to break this dude down, you're not gonna hear from him again. I'm throwing them away.
Lord AKS, Lord King, if you want, he said to tell hip hop to put the belt on the line.
Oh no, I'm coming with my own belt. And I'm leaving with his belt. I'm a champion. And he don't know this. He don't understand. I'm going to break him down.
I'm done.
What happened on that?
We got to make this. We got to get this thing, man. You got to talk to hip hop. He's got to send D his belt if he loses. He's got to.
He's not going to do that.
We're working out the finalities of the
He's not going to do that. He's already scared.
We've got the base parameters of the matchup in place for all the people in the chat that's still checking for the matchup. The base parameters in check. Lord King is down for that smoke for whatever it is.
Wherever, however.
Right now, we just waiting for Lord Hip Hop to agree on one or two parameters as far as the stream. We're gonna stream it. You know, I see the fans in the chat. Y'all want the title match? I'm gonna throw that on the table and see if he's willing. You know what I'm saying? To put that out.
I'm willing.
Because it'd be the belt. It should be belt versus belt. Lord King's bringing his belt. We all know Lord Hip Hop's got his belt. So we could do belt for belt. We could do that. And let's just see.
Yo, and then I'm gonna throw it in the garbage.
Matches a fist fight. Nobody wants no fist fight, Lord.
Yo, listen. After I take his belt, I'm gonna do like Lennox Lewis and throw it in the garbage.
I'm done. Hold on. Are you gonna take it from like right then and there? Go to him in person the moment he gets straight to the garbage.
Listen. I'm gonna FaceTime it right out to Brooklyn, pick up the belt, and throw it off the Brooklyn Bridge.
I'm done. And on that note, stay tuned for what's going on. It's gonna be hot. Lord Chief Time is going down soon. We just working out.
It's supposed to be Monday.
Iron Lord
Monday.
We will update the Iron Lord Plastic Twitter with the details, the specifics of streaming, all of the parameters. We're gonna have that out there for y'all. I appreciate this.
Follow me on Twitter. You're gonna find out when it go down. I got you.
King David OTW, right? Correct, sir?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Follow him on Twitter. It's gonna be lit. We're gonna be promoting this thing hard. Thank you for everyone that came through the chat. We about
your King gonna represent that for sure, though.
Oh, you already know. Football is here.
Hey, we got throwing the bell off the bridge is better. I agree.
Hey, you stop instigating. And on that note, we gonna end this show. Peace.